things cannot be explained by this first law of thermodynamics. Then it is the main drawback of the first law of thermodynamics. Next, feasibility of the reaction. Feasibility of the reaction means does the reaction or process will take place or not. That is feasibility. If it is occur or not. Evaporation of water at under given situations, set of conditions. Does the process takes place or not? Now water is, now for the example I am taking, children. Sucrose, cane sugar, is dissolved in water at room temperature 180 atm. At the same time, iodine is added to water. It is insoluble. Why the cane sugar is soluble in water? Why the iodine crystals are not soluble in water cannot be explained by first law of thermodynamics. And also, a change in extension in which the direction of a change jarigindi ante aa change enduku jarugutadi, aa change jaraganiki main reason enti, what is the criterion for the change of extension cannot be explained by first law of thermodynamics. These are the limitations of thermodynamics. It's clear. Now, scientists are thinking about the some process are take place on itself. For the example, ఇక్కడ నా దగ్గర ఫ్యాడ్ ఉన్నాను. ఫర్ ది ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఈ ఫ్యాడ్ మీద నేను పెన్ పెట్టేసిన, ఇలా పెట్టేసిన, ఇలాగే ఉంది. దీన్ని ఇలా ఉంచి అనుకున్నాను, పెన్ ఏమైంది, రోల్ అయింది. విచ్ ద సైడ్? టువర్డ్స్ డౌన్వర్డ్. వాటర్ ఫ్లోస్ డౌన్వర్డ్. Air blows from high pressure region to low pressure region. Electricity means flow of electron. Current flows from high potential region to low potential region. Heat flow from hotter body to colder body when they are contact with each other. By this process takes place in. ఇప్పుడు మనం ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ కూలర్ బాటిల్, వాటర్ బాటిల్ ఉంది, కూల్గా ఉంది, వాటర్ బాటిల్ కూల్గా ఉంది, తీసుకొచ్చి ఇక్కడ పెట్టాను. ఆఫ్టర్ లిటిల్ బిట్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్ ఇట్ అప్రోచ్ టు ద రూమ్ టెంపరేచర్. బట్ మళ్ళీ ఈ రూమ్ టెంపరేచర్ నుంచి కూల్ కి తీసుకెళ్లేస్తామంటే తీసుకెళ్ళలేము. దట్ ప్రాసెస్ ఈజ్ నాట్ స్పాంటానియస్. ద టెంపరేచర్ డిక్రీజింగ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ కూల్ వాటర్ ఈజ్ స్పాంటానియస్. At the same time, during the class, I am తీసుకొచ్చి టీ ఇక్కడ పెట్టేస్తుంది అనుకున్నాను. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, నేను ఈ క్లాస్ రూమ్లో చెప్పేస్తూ నేను ఆ టీ తీసేసుకోలేదు. హాట్ కాఫీ ఆర్ టీ ఆఫ్టర్ ఏ లిటిల్ బిట్ ఆఫ్ ది టైమ్ ఇట్ విల్ బి అప్రోచ్ టు రూమ్ టెంపరేచర్. ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ఇన్ హాట్, బట్ ఇట్ బీయింగ్ as to be hot from normal condition, we have to use some heating process of that coffee or tea. At the same time, this water bottle should be kept in a deep freezer, so the temperature will be decreased to become as cool water. So some process is spontaneous, some process is non-spontaneous. Okay, so this is spontaneous process can be, what is the criterion? అసలు ఏంటి విషయం, అసలు స్పాంటానియస్ ఎందుకు అవుతుంది, స్పాంటానియస్ ఎందుకు? దీనికోసం సైంటిస్టులు మళ్ళీ అగైన్ అటెంప్ట్ పెట్టేసి అసలు మెయిన్ రీజన్ ఏంటి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, a ball is kept here, it rolled towards downward. Our pen is also, we just practically we observe this one, it is rolled downward. మరి ది డౌన్వర్డ్ నుంచి అప్వర్డ్ మూవ్ అవుతుందా? వెళ్ళదు. వెళ్ళకపోవడాన్ని ఏమంటున్నాను నేను? నాన్ స్పాంటేనియస్. అటు నుంచి రావడాన్ని ఏమంటున్నాను నేను? స్పాంటానియస్. ఇట్స్ క్లియర్. సో ఇలా జరగడానికి మెయిన్ రీజన్ ఏం తీసుకున్నారంటే వాళ్ళు వాటర్ తీసేస్తున్నారు. వాటర్ ఆర్ బాల్ ఎట్ హైట్స్ Is it a high energy, higher potential energy? Clear? Higher potential energy. Okay, higher energy means energy contained by a body at constant pressure, open vision. Constant pressure is enthalpy, simply H. It's clear na Banu?
Clear, sir.
Banu, energy changes at constant pressure. Energy changes at a constant volume. We discussed in the first law of thermodynamics. Energy contained by the system at a constant pressure is enthalpy, denoted by H, is higher at heights. So why it is rolled towards downward, water flowing towards downward? Why? Because at lower region, those bodies are having the minimum energy. So the water flows from higher energy region to lower energy region. Means maximum energy to minimum energy. Maximum enthalpy is to minimum enthalpy. It's clear, children. And a spontaneous process is moves towards in the state of minimum energy. Energy content at constant pressure is called as enthalpy, means maximum enthalpy is to minimum enthalpy. Change in enthalpy delta H, minimum minus maximum. Why? Because final minus initial. It's clear. For a chemical reaction, we plotted the graph. For exothermic reaction, downward energy of products is lesser than that of the reactant. For exothermic reactions, delta H is also negative. It's clear. A chemical process or physical process, those spontaneous reactions takes place with a minimum state of energy. That means lower enthalpy. Final state is lower, initial state is higher. Change in enthalpy, lower minus higher means final minus initial. Delta H is negative. It's clear. For this process, due to which reactions takes place on itself. అని చెప్పేశారు. డెల్టా హెచ్ నెగటివ్ అయితే ఆటోమేటిక్ గా స్పాంటానియస్ అవుతుంది అంటున్నారు. బట్ ఇక్కడ మళ్ళీ ఈ స్పాంటానిటీని 2 డిఫరెంట్ కేసెస్ లో ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేశారు. వన్ ఈజ్ spontaneous reaction. Spontaneous reaction means the reaction which takes place on itself without any help of external agencies, that it is called as a spontaneous process or reaction. For the example, some students are coming to the class on itself, to Google Classroom, and do their works. This is spontaneous. Some students are joined by after sending of the link by madam, and after linking sending of the link is also some students are not joined. Then we have to make a call. Please join. That process is non-spontaneous. Means we are applying some external sources of the surroundings to take place this process. Such process is called as a non-spontaneous. Of course, spontaneous process is in 2 different cases. One is a spontaneous process with initiation, spontaneous process without initiation. బాల్ అక్కడ పెట్టేస్తే చాలా ఆటోమేటిక్గా రోల్ అయిపోతుంది. దీనికి ఇనిషియేషన్ ఏం అవసరం లేదు. బాల్ మనం ఒకసారి నెట్టాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. Automatically it will be rolled. This is a process without spontaneous process without initiation. Now there are so many examples are there to like this one. Some reactions are spontaneous reactions, need initiation. Some spontaneous process, when they are initiated once, it process is continuously going to till end of the reaction. Such process is called as a reaction, spontaneous process with initiation. For the example, petrol bottle ila teesanu, bottle keeping here, bottle ila ikkada pettanu, ikkada pettesi em chestunna talli, na daggara lighter undi, lighter ni lit cheyaledu, lighter alage unchanu, ee petrol combust aitada avada? Cheppandi talli. Petrol ki combust ఇక్కడ ఇది ఒక కోక్ బాటిల్, కోక్ లమ్స్ అనుకుందాం మనం. ఇక్కడ నా దగ్గర ఫైర్ ఉంది, ఇక్కడ కోక్ ఉంది. ఈ కోకు ఈ ఫైర్ పక్క పక్కనే ఉన్నా కానీ ఇది కంబస్ట్ అవ్వదు. వన్స్ ఇనిషియల్స్ మనం ఇక్కడ మనకి దీని కోక్ ని బర్నింగ్ స్టార్ట్ చేసేస్తే ఇది మొత్తం కంప్లీట్ గా కంబస్ట్ అయిపోయేంత వరకు దట్ విల్ బి కంబస్ట్ బర్న్. పెట్రోల్ కూడా అంతే, వన్స్ మనం లీడ్ చేసేస్తే ఈ లీటర్ కాదు గ్యాలన్ ఎంత పెట్రోల్ ఉన్నా అంత పెట్రోల్ అయిపోయేంత వరకు ప్రాసెస్ జరుగుతుంది. ఇట్స్ క్లియర్. బండిలో పెట్రోల్ వేసి బండి స్టార్ట్ చేసినాం, పెట్రోల్ అయిపోయిన దాకా అది నడుస్తూనే ఉంటుంది. దిస్ ప్రాసెస్ ఈజ్ spontaneous process with initiation, spontaneous process without initiation, spontaneous process with initiation. So process is in two different cases. One is the spontaneous, one is the non-spontaneous. One itself occur, a given set of conditions owns itself occur, it is called as a spontaneous. Some need external agencies to done the work, that it is called as a non-spontaneous. There is no discussion about the non-spontaneous. We are discussing about the spontaneous, which is in two categories. One with no initiation, one with initiation. No initiation I explained, with initiation is also I explained. So why these spontaneous reactions are takes place spontaneously, I explained. The first category is minimum state of energy. చెప్పాను ఎగ్జాంపుల్ అయిపోయింది. ఫర్ delta H is negative, means enthalpy is a criterion for spontaneity. If delta H is negative, minimum state of energy, the process is spontaneous. Clear. Limitations of okay, no? Enthalpy as a criterion of spontaneous. దీన్ని యూజ్ చేసేసుకొని మనం చెప్పడానికి కరెక్ట్ లేదు అని చెప్తున్నారు. ఎందుకు లిమిటేషన్ వచ్చింది? ఎందుకు లిమిటేషన్ వచ్చిందంటే ఈ వాటర్ బాటిల్ ని క్లోజ్ చేయలేదు తల్లి. ఈ వాటర్ ఉంది దీంట్లో. ఈ వాటర్ బాటిల్ ని ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నేను ఇలా ఓపెన్ చేసేసి ఇలా పెట్టేసి 10 days తర్వాత వచ్చాను. ఈ వాటర్ బాటిల్ లేయర్ ఓకేనా ఇక్కడ వరకే ఉంటుందా, ఏమైనా డౌన్ కూడా వస్తుందా? చెప్పండి.
డౌన్ సార్.
లెవెల్ ఆఫ్ ది వాటర్ లెవెల్ డిక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది. మరి ఎందుకు లెవెల్ డిక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది? సమ్ వాటర్ విల్ బి evaporated spontaneously, but evaporation of water is exothermic or endothermic, Bashir? Evaporation of water is exothermic or endothermic? Tell me.
Endothermic, sir.
Endothermic process. Endothermic process is delta H is positive, but process is spontaneous. But in the previous case, what did we discuss? To spontaneous process, delta H should be negative, but here this is a positive. Finally, we may conclude that in some cases delta H positive is also reaction is spontaneous. For one more better example for this one, I am dissolving the ammonium chloride in water. It is an endothermic process by absorbing the 15.1 kilojoules of energy. But this process is also endothermic. But dissolving of ammonium chloride is spontaneous. Like this, camphor, ardhkarpuram, naphthalene, that it is a కలరా ఉండలు అని మనం అంటాం నాఫ్థలిన్ బేసిస్. దోస్ ఆర్ ఆల్సో ఆ నాఫ్థలిన్ మన డ్రెస్సెస్ లో పెట్టి జెర్మిసైడ్ అంటారు. జెర్మిసైడ్ తీసుకొచ్చి అక్కడ పెట్టేస్తే క్లాస్ లో ఉంచితే అది సమ్ టైమ్స్ ప్రొటెక్ట్ చేస్తూ ఉంటుంది. ఆఫ్ కోర్స్ మరి మనం బాక్స్ పెట్టినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, తల్లి దిస్ మచ్ సైజ్ ఉంటుంది. ఆఫ్టర్ 1 month ఇట్ సైజ్ విల్ బి డిక్రీజ్. క్యాంపర్ ఆర్త్ కర్పూరం బిల్ల తీసుకొచ్చి మీరు ఇంట్లో పెట్టండి ఒక ప్లేట్ లో, ప్యూర్ అయితే. ఇప్పుడు ఏది ప్యూర్ లేదు, ఇప్పుడు అంతా మిక్సింగే. సో దిస్ ప్యూర్ క్యాంఫర్ have a tendency of okay, sublimation character. It will be evaporate, due to which absorbing the energy. So absorbing energy means delta H is a positive. Such process also takes place spontaneously. It's clear. So that based on this concept, we can't say enthalpy is as a criterion for spontaneity. Enthalpy ni mana criterion laga తీసుకోలేము. 2 cases ఉన్నాయి, either positive or negative. Positive అయితే మనం ఓకే చెప్పేస్తున్నాం, sorry, negative అయితే delta H negative spontaneous అంటున్నాం. But in some cases delta H is also positive but process is spontaneous. So this is not okay criterion for explanation of this. So that scientists are thinking about the another, searching for the another factor what it is. దీనికోసం సైంటిస్టులు ఏం చేశారంటే తల్లి ఒక చిన్న ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తీసేసుకుంటాం. Different glass bulbs connected through a glass tube and a stopcock is there. One bulb with neon, one bulb with helium. 2 different glass bulbs. So those are separated by a stopcock. So if I remove this stopcock, those helium gas molecules are moved to this neon bulb. Neon bulb gas molecules are moved to helium bulb. Both take place. The gases are diffused through itself and making a gaseous solution. By the gases, these gas molecules are mixed together. Then no change in the pressure. Ikkada 1 atm unte ikkada kuda 1 atm pressure undi. No change in the pressure. And also they do not chemically combine with each other. Chemical combinations unte minimum potential energy potundi kabatti jarugutundi ani cheppochu. But mixing process lo emaina delta H value emaina large difference unda ante that it is also difference in mass. Okay. That is also a negligible heat change. Why these gases molecules are mixing with each other? Then the scientist says that one more reason. In this bulb, helium atom are close with each other. In this bulb, neon is with close. When removing the stopcock, this neon molecule is apart with each other. Helium and helium apart with each other. So before opening the stopcock, they are highly organized. Less randomness. After opening the stopcock, more randomness. This is the main concept for understanding this spontaneity. So spontaneity is a criterion for more randomness. Clearly, for applying of this one, in solid state molecules are close with each other, highly organized. In liquid state, there is no highly organization. Randomness will be increased. They can flow fluids. More randomness. In case of gaseous state molecules, randomness will be increases. So which state molecules are more randomness, solid or liquid or gaseous? Children, tell me. Which state molecules? Gaseous. Very good. Gaseous state molecules are more randomness. It's a little bit example. Ice at 0 degrees centigrade temperature. Why it is melt? Reason, it is in solid state. Solid state, highly organized molecule going to the liquid state. More randomness. Keeping this water in an open vessel will be evaporate. Means liquid state to again gaseous state. Again randomness increases. There is no any external source or agencies to apply to do over any work over that substance or system. The melting of ice is going there on itself. The evaporation of water, of course, both are endothermic. Both are endothermic. Evaporation processes takes place, and melting of ice also takes place. But one is common thing: increase the randomness. So, due to which increase the randomness, dissolving of ammonium chloride. Crystalline molecules, crystalline particles, NH4 plus very closer with Cl minus, very closer with NH4 plus, very closer with Cl minus. When it is dissolved in water, they are very free. Aqueous NH4 plus ion, aqueous Cl minus ion, very freely moving. Randomness increase. Of course, delta H is positive. Evaporation of water, delta H is positive. Reason, more randomness. Melting of ice, okay, delta H positive, more randomness. Based on this concept, okay, so even though delta H positive, why the process is spontaneous? Reason is randomness. This randomness can be explained on the basis of the term is entropy. ఇక్కడ ఈ randomness కైనా ఒక ప్రాసెస్ స్పాంటానియస్ గా జరగాలి అంటే two different forces may apply. Already I told you children, one is a driving forces, one is a opposing forces. Beginning of our classes lo cheppan reversible, irreversible process ki driving forces and opposing forces. Driving forces ఏం చెప్తుంది? టు డూ ద వర్క్ అంటది. అపోజింగ్ ఫోర్సెస్ డోంట్ డూ ద వర్క్ అంటది. Based on this concept, these two concepts, that is enthalpy change and randomness, these two tendencies are considered as the two taken as spontaneity. రెండింటిని కలిపి తీసుకుందామని తీసుకొచ్చారు. మరి randomness ఇంక్రీజ్ అయింది కదా, హయ్యర్ టు అంటే ఫైనల్ హయ్యర్, ఇనిషియల్ ఇస్ లోయర్, అంటే చేంజ్ ఇన్ randomness ఇస్ పాజిటివ్ అవుతుంది. మరి ఇదేమవుతుంది? నెగటివ్ అవుతుంది. These two are tendencies. So independent, okay, they may work in same direction or in opposite direction. రెండు ఎవరిని ప్రపోజ్ చేయొచ్చు తల్లి? రెండు కూడా స్పాంటానియస్ ని ప్రపోజ్ చేయొచ్చు. అంటే డెల్టా హెచ్ నెగటివ్ అవ్వచ్చు, ఇక్కడ randomness ఇంక్రీజ్ అవ్వచ్చు. ఫేవర్ ఫర్ స్పాంటానియస్. Sometimes delta H is positive, randomness increase. అంటే డెల్టా హెచ్ ఎంథాల్పీ ఏముంటది? నాన్ స్పాంటానియస్ చెయ్యి అంటుంది. randomness ఏమవుతుంది? స్పాంటానియస్ చెయ్యి అంటుంది. సో ఇక్కడ ఆపోజిట్ డైరెక్షన్ లో అయిపోయింది ఒకదానికి ఒకటి. అంటే దీస్ టూ ఫంక్షన్స్ మే వర్క్ ఇన్ సేమ్ డైరెక్షన్ ఆర్ ఇన్ ఆపోజిట్ డైరెక్షన్. So based on this concept, when the process is spontaneous, that can be explained on the basis of driving forces. ఇప్పుడు ఎంథాల్పీ కంటే randomness more favorable అయిపోయింది. మాలిక్యూల్ స్పాంటానియస్ అయిపోతుంది. ఈ ర్యాండమ్నెస్ కంటే ఎంథాల్పీ అనేది ఎక్కువైంది అనుకో, అప్పుడు స్పాంటానియస్ అయిపోతుంది. దట్ కెన్ బి ఎక్స్ప్రెస్డ్ ఆన్ ద బేసిస్ ఆఫ్ ది driving forces. When a system is driving forces is greater, the process will be spontaneous. It's clear. So this randomness of the system, the scientists are giving the one more name for this randomness or disorderness, can be explained on the basis of entropy. Yes. Then what is entropy? Entropy is a physical tendency or property of a system, that it is a measurement of the randomness of the system of the molecules. Molecule very organized and randomness chala takku undi, highly organized. Randomness ledu, entropy is low. No randomness is almost negligible. Entropy is also negligible. Right. Randomness increases, entropy increases. Clear? Children understand?
Yes, sir.
Cane sugar is dissolved in water. Entropy increase or decrease?
Increase.
Sugar dissolved in Varshit? Yes, increases. Water evaporation, entropy
Increases.
Ice melting,
Increases.
freezing of ice, water, freezing of water,
Decreases.
it decreases. ఏం లేదు చిల్డ్రన్, అక్కడ ప్రాసెస్ ఏం జరుగుతుంది దాన్ని మనం ఎంట్రోపీ లాగా ఎక్స్ప్రెస్ చేయాలి. సాలిడ్ నుంచి లిక్విడ్ కి, లిక్విడ్ నుంచి గ్యాస్ కి ఎంట్రోపీ ఏమవుతుంది తల్లి? Entropy increases. From gas to liquid, liquid to solid, entropy
Decreases.
Understand?
Yes, sir.
Entropy is a physical property of the system. It is the measurement of randomness of molecules in the system. Greater the randomness, greater its entropy. Lesser the randomness, lesser its entropy. Now, it is denoted by S value, that is S. It is extensive property. Tell me, children, what is extensive property? What is extensive property? Property which depends upon the quantity or volume or mass of the system is called as a extensive property. And state function. What is the meaning of state function? What is the meaning of state function?
Which does not follow any path during reaction.
Path cannot follow the path. It can explain the or define the initial and final state of the system is called as a
State function.
But it cannot explain how the system approach from initial to final cannot be explained. So that its original value cannot be explained or calculated. But change in entropy can be calculated. Change in entropy delta S is equal to S final minus S initial, S product minus S reactant, S2 minus S1. It's clear. For a reversible reaction, change in entropy is Q absorbed by temperature. This is our class. Up to this one, first write down classwork notes. Later we will follow the class. Write down. So that first, ma dictate chena.
Sir, dictate. Dictate, sir, no problem.
Yes, sir, dictate.
Right. Dictate. Limitations of first law of thermodynamics. Limitations of first law of thermodynamics. Limitations of first law of thermodynamics. First law. It fails to predict the direction of process. Next, it fails to explain the feasibility. FEASI. Priyanka.
Yes. Yes, sir, I'm following.
Cannot explain the feasibility of the process. That it is. Does the process takes place or not? Feasibility means to be occur. Feasibility means to be occur. Right. Next, it cannot explain. It cannot explain in which the extent to change takes place for the process.
Sir, in which the
extent to change takes place simply. Extent to change takes place simply. Take the side reading that it is important. Spontaneous process.
Side headings.
Yes. Or spontaneity. Right. A process that can take place by itself under the given set of conditions.
So the given set of
Under conditions is called as spontaneous process.
Sir, repeat it again, sir, please.
A process that can take place by itself under the given set of conditions. Under the given set of conditions is called as spontaneous reaction. These are in two types. First one, spontaneous process without initiation. Without initiation.
Without after once say again, sir, clarity.
Without initiation. That means the process which takes place on itself and no need to any initiation. No need to any initiation of process.
Sir, no need to any initiation of process, sir.
Yes. Example. Sugar plus water gives rise. Solution of sugar in water.
And it's a sugar solution, sir.
Sugar plus water gives rise a solution of sugar in water. Second example, evaporation of water. Evaporation of water. That means H2O is in liquid state, change to H2O is in gas state. Third example, nitric oxide combines with oxygen to form nitrogen dioxide. It's clear. NO plus O2 gives rise to NO2. These are spontaneous. Next, spontaneous process with the initiation. Spontaneous process with initiation. Right. Some spontaneous process they do not occur on itself. They do not occur on itself. And they need some initiation, and they need some initiation. Example: C plus C means solid graphite, oxygen gives rise CO2. For this process, ignition is important. Ignition. At the same time, H2 and O2, electric spark gives H2O. It's clear. Heating of limestone. Combustion of methane. These all are the better examples for spontaneous reactions with initiation. Right. Clear now?
Yes.
Right. Take the siding that it is a spontaneity of a process. Spontaneity of a process. And enthalpy change. And enthalpy change. Right now.
Sir, enthalpy or entropy, sir?
Enthalpy. Later we discuss about the entropy. First enthalpy, no?
Okay, sir.
Yes. A ball or water kept at a slopy table, the water will flow. A slopy table, the water will flow towards down. And rolling of ball is also. And rolling of ball is also towards downward. Reason. Ball or water. At at heights has greater has a state of greater energy or maximum energy. To minimize its energy, they flow towards minimum energy, towards minimum energy.
Sir, I lost my network, sir. Once you can repeat it again.
They flow towards down. Downward means how? Minimum energy, state of energy. Minimum state of energy. So energy at constant pressure is called as enthalpy. Energy at constant pressure is called as enthalpy. That it is the spontaneous process takes place, that it is the spontaneous process takes place towards minimum enthalpy. Towards minimum enthalpy. Towards the minimum enthalpy. So that for a spontaneous process, change in enthalpy, bracket delta H, change in enthalpy, the bracket is delta H, will be negative. It is for same. It is same for exothermic reactions. Exothermic reactions in which delta H is negative. In which delta H is negative. For the example, C solid plus O2 gives rise CO2. For this reaction, delta H is equal to minus 394 of reactant kilojoules. Whatever the example I am taking, N2 plus 3H2 gives rise 2NH3. Delta H is minus 92. Delta H is negative, spontaneous. Now, combustion of octane. C8H18 plus O2, that is 25 O2. Use as CO2 plus H2. 9H2O, 8CO2. For this process, delta H is equal to minus 10951. 951.3 kilojoules. Copy it now. Children copy more.
1 minute.
Emma. Right? Take the siding that it is a limitations of criterion of decrease in enthalpy. Banu?
Sir?
Egg curry తింటావా నువ్వు?
No, sir.
No. Boiled egg తెలుసా తల్లి నీకు?
Yes, sir.
ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు ఎగ్ ని బాయిల్ చేసావు అనుకోవాలి కర్రీ పర్పస్ కి. ఎగ్ బిఫోర్ బాయిలింగ్, ఆఫ్టర్ బాయిలింగ్ randomness ఏమవుతుంది చెప్పు? ఎంట్రోపీ చేంజ్ పాజిటివ్ ఆర్ నెగటివ్? Tell me. చెప్పరా?
Negative.
Negative.
Delta S negative na? Delta S negative or positive?
Negative, sir.
Negative,
What?
sir.
Negative, sir.
Amina is very correct. Very good answer. Amina, positive. Positive is correct. Why? Because before boiling of egg, it is in liquid state. By boiling, all peptide bonds, intermolecular hydrogen bonds, and disulfide bonds in protein of egg will lost and they organized, converts in semi-solid state. So that from liquid to solid, randomness decrease. From lower minus higher is delta S is negative. ఇప్పుడు చెప్పండి. ఆమె నా చెప్పరా తల్లి, డెల్టా ఎస్ పాజిటివ్ మీన్స్ ఎంట్రోపీ చేంజ్ ఇన్ ఎంట్రోపీ పాజిటివ్ ఆర్ నెగటివ్? ఫైనల్ మైనస్ ఇనిషియల్. సాలిడ్ స్టేట్ లో లోయర్ కదా? అరే చెప్పరేంట్రా? మై వాయిస్ ఇస్ ఆడబుల్?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Delta S is negative, correct. ఇప్పుడు రైస్ ఉంది కదా తల్లి, రైస్ ని మనం 1 hour వాటర్ లో దిట్ ఈస్ కీపింగ్ సోకింగ్ చేసామనుకో, సోకింగ్ ఆఫ్ రైస్. What is the entropy change?
Once again, can you ask the question, sir?
Now, rice means paddy rice ఉంది కదా తల్లి, రైస్ soaked in water a little bit of time, 1 or 2 hours soak చేసావు వాటర్ ని, సారీ రైస్ ని వాటర్ లో సోక్ చేసుకున్నావు. ఎంట్రోపీ చేంజ్ ఏమవుతుంది చెప్పండి ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ రైస్?
Increases positive.
Yes, ఎంట్రోపీ చేంజ్ ఇంక్రీజ్. సాలిడ్ స్టేట్ నుంచి వాటర్ మాలిక్యూల్ రైస్ మాలిక్యూల్కి వెళ్ళిపోయి బిట్వీన్ గ్లూకోజ్ మాలిక్యూల్స్ లో randomness ని ఇంక్రీజ్ చేసింది అంటే రైస్ సైజ్ ఏమైంది అని ఇంక్రీజ్ అయిపోయింది size increases due to intermolecular forces randomness increases so that entropy changes positive greater minus lower so like this type of questions will also asked okay limitations of criterion of decreasing enthalpy right first one so according to from the above lines for a spontaneous process delta H negative but in some cases endothermic process is also in the bracket delta H is passed in some cases endothermic process is also that it is delta H is positive or spontaneous right for the example evaporation of water is endothermic but it is spontaneous delta H is equal to plus 44 kilojoules. Write down this is example 1. Copy now.
Copy, sir.
Right. Next, dissolving of ammonium chloride. NH4Cl plus H2O liquid solid gives rise NH4 plus Cl minus aqueous delta H is equal to plus 15.1 kilojoules. Next. Some reversible process is also takes place in which delta H is both negative and positive.
Sir, once again repeat the points, sir.
In some cases, reversible reaction is also spontaneous. In which delta H negative and positive. Delta H negative and positive. Star marker. Star marker. From above lines, we can't say the enthalpy is criterion for a spontaneous. Clear. Close. Now take the siding that is randomness or disorderness. Randomness or disorderness.
Disorder.
And spontaneity. Randomness or disorderness.
So can you spell the disorderness?
He's asking to spell the word.
H2 plus I2, na?
No, sir. Randomness.
Okay. So from the above lines, we can't say the entropy as a criterion for.
Sir, enthalpy no, sir.
Ma?
Enthalpy is not a criterion.
Sorry. Right. Enthalpy. So we can't say the enthalpy is not enthalpy is a criterion for spontaneous process. Next, randomness. Take the heading. Randomness or disorder and spontaneity. If two gases are in the bracket is neon and helium are taken in glass bulbs connected through stopcock.
Structure, sir. What is that word?
Stopcock.
stopcock.
Glass bulb, sir.
Two glass bulbs are connected through stopcock. Stopcock. Okay. If opening the stopcock, both gases, if opening the stopcock, both gases intermix together due to diffusion. Both gases intermix together due to diffusion. Line. Next line. Why the gases are intermixed together? Intermixed together, but why the two gases intermixed together? But there is no chemical interaction. There is no chemical interaction between two gases and heat change is also negligible. Finally, we may conclude that these gases intermix together to increase randomness. Underline. To increase randomness. Due to which in case of endothermic reaction is also in case of endothermic reaction is also spontaneous. For the example, thermal heating of or thermal decomposition of calcium carbonate. Okay, na? In which takes place, spontaneous and increase in the randomness. Equation note చేసుకుంటారు and increase in the randomness.
సార్ ఒకసారి దీనికి ముందు సెంటెన్స్ చెప్పరా?
Thermal decomposition of calcium carbonate. Thermal decomposition of calcium carbonate, in which delta H is positive and increase the randomness. In which increase the randomness. And ఇక్కడ ఏమైంది ఇక్కడ చూడండి 1 mole of solid to give the 1 mole of solid and gives the 1 gas. Gas means randomness increase. So randomness is increasing. Delta H is positive. Delta H positive అయినా randomness increase అవుతుంది కాబట్టి it is spontaneous. That it means. Concept oriented. బాను ఈ ఈక్వేషన్ కి డెల్టా ఎస్ పాజిటివ్ ఆ నెగటివ్ ఆ చెప్తాను.
Positive, sir.
సో దిస్ ఇస్ 1 mole of gas. సాలిడ్ నుంచి ఏమొచ్చిందన్న మనకి గ్యాస్ వచ్చేసింది. గ్యాస్ మీన్స్ ఫ్రమ్ సాలిడ్ టు లిక్విడ్, లిక్విడ్ టు గ్యాస్, ఎంట్రోపీ ఇంక్రీజెస్. సో డెల్టా ఎస్ పాజిటివ్. కరెక్ట్ ఆన్సర్. వెరీ గుడ్. సెకండ్ వన్, ఎవాపరేషన్ ఆఫ్ వాటర్. Evaporation of water, in which randomness increase.
Sir, equation.
H2O liquid to H2O gas, in which randomness increase. Delta H is positive.
Positive, sir.
Yes, delta H.
Positive only, sir.
Already I gave you delta H is 44 kilojoules. Another example, H2O solid to H2O liquid. Delta H is positive plus 6 kilojoules. Another example, dissolving of ammonium chloride.
Sir, plus 6 not 6, sir.
Plus 6 not plus 6.06. Kilojoules.
It should be near 40 now, sir.
Huh?
It is not near 40, sir.
Varshit, what are you asking, ma?
No, sir. In a book, I have read that solid to liquid water state is 40 nearly. That's it.
This is a gas. H2O is here liquid. Here H2O is in liquid state. Changed to H2O is in the gaseous state. Evaporation process. Delta H is positive. Example. Next example, H2O solid to H2O liquid. Next example, NH4Cl solid. This is a aqueous, means water. NH4 plus aqueous and Cl minus aqueous. Delta H is equal to already 1.5 something, 15.1 is given already. Delta H is equal to plus 15.1 kilojoules. Right. Right, also. From the above facts, we learned from the above facts, we learned spontaneous process occur because of the two tendencies first one,
Sir, two tenses.
tendency, two tendencies.
Sir, what is the word after spontaneous process, sir?
Spontaneous process occur because of two tendencies. Because of two tendencies. Because of two tendencies. First one, tendency of a system to acquire a state of minimum energy. Second one, tendency of a system to acquire a state of maximum randomness. Next slide. The overall tendencies for a process to takes place itself is called as driving forces. Driving forces. Next, these two tendencies, these two tendencies act independent of each other. Act independent of each other. Independent of each other. Independent of each other. And may work in same or opposite process. Right, children? So this is our class for today. Next we will discuss about the entropy change in entropy of system and change in entropy of surroundings, change in entropy, okay, no? At different temperatures, different volumes, different pressures, how it is related with system to surrounding. The total discussions will continue in the next class. So this is our class for today. Next we will meet with the next class. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Right.